Canton lost its municipal sewer system the exact day the paper mill shut down. For more than 60 years, the mill treated the town's wastewater at no cost. Then the mill closed, and suddenly, Canton found itself paying approximately $140,000 every month to keep wastewater services operating. Most towns would have spent years trying to figure out what to do next. Instead, Canton turned a crisis into an opportunity. Hello, everyone. I'm O'Neill Scott with eXp Realty and your Asheville Connection. Each week, we explore what's happening across Asheville and Western North Carolina and what it means for homeowners, buyers, sellers, and future property values. And today, we're heading west down Interstate 40 to a town that is redeveloping in our region. When the paper mill closed, most of the headlines focused on the loss of jobs, but behind the scenes, local leaders were facing an even more immediate challenge. Without a long-term wastewater solution, future growth would be extremely difficult. No major development, no new employers, no significant expansion. Infrastructure matters. So the town, state leaders, and regional partners went to work. In a $12.5 million agreement, Canton purchased back more than 50 acres of the former mill property from Two Banks Development. The acquisition included critical land needed for the town's future and a massive 150,000 square foot warehouse that could become an important economic asset moving forward. At the same time, state funding helped move forward plans for a completely new municipal wastewater treatment facility. Unlike the old system that depended on the paper mill, this facility will belong to the town. It is being planned on higher ground and outside the floodplain, creating long-term utility independence while improving resilience for future generations. And what comes next could reshape this community. The former mill property spans roughly 185 acres along the Pigeon River. For generations, this land was devoted almost entirely to heavy industry. A different vision is taking shape. The western portion of the property is being positioned for light manufacturing, commercial distribution, and employment opportunities that can bring quality jobs back to Haywood County. The eastern portion along the Pigeon River is where things become especially interesting. Local leaders, planners, and developers have discussed a future that includes greenways, river access, gathering spaces, parks, commercial development, and a walkable mixed-use district connected directly to downtown Canton. Imagine that transformation. For decades, this riverfront was largely hidden behind industrial operations. Now, the conversation is about reconnecting the community to the river itself, creating places where residents can walk, gather, paddle, dine, shop, and enjoy the waterfront. And Canton made another decision that has attracted attention far beyond Haywood County. The county recently adopted a moratorium on large data centers. Many communities are aggressively pursuing these projects. Canton chose a different path. Rather than dedicating enormous amounts of water and power to developments that generate relatively few jobs, local leaders are focusing on projects that create employment opportunities, super local businesses, and fit the long-term vision residents have for their community. That's an important distinction. This isn't growth for growth's sake. It's growth with a plan. And that's where this story shifts from a municipal project to a real estate story. Today, the median sales price in Canton is approximately $336,895. Homes are averaging around 36 days on market, and sellers are receiving about 94.7% from the May Canopy MLS system. Those numbers tell us this market remains active while still offering opportunities for buyers. More importantly, buyers are entering at a significantly lower price point than many areas in Buncombe County. And they're doing it at only about 20 minutes from Asheville. I spent many years living in Atlanta, and I've watched a pattern repeat itself over and over. As housing prices rise in the urban center, buyers began looking for value in surrounding communities. Business follows, infrastructure follows, investment follows. That Asheville is the economic hub of Western North Carolina. And communities that offer character, accessibility, outdoor recreation, and room to grow naturally become more attractive as prices continue rising closer to the city. And then there's the lifestyle. And honestly, that's one of Canton's greatest strengths. Beautiful mountain community, surrounded by some of the outdoor recreation people move here to enjoy. The Pigeon River flows right through town. Chestnut Mountain Nature Park is just minutes away. There are waters brewing along the river, community events, and a growing sense of momentum. There's an authenticity here that many buyers find refreshing, which brings us back to where we started. The day the paper mill closed could have defined Canton's future. Instead, it may have become the beginning of a new chapter, a new wastewater facility, public and private investment, a vision for the riverfront, an evolving downtown, and housing prices that remain attractive compared to many nearby communities. No one can predict exactly what the future holds, but buyers who pay attention to where a community is headed often recognize opportunities before everyone else does. And that's why Canton deserves a closer look. I'm O'Neill Scott with your Asheville Connection. If you'd like to learn more about Canton, Haywood County, and other communities throughout Western North Carolina, I'd be happy to help. And if you enjoy local news, real estate insights, and updates about what's happening across our region, be sure to subscribe and join our weekly newsletter. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next week.